the duck. The duck is our mascot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Did we require a mascot?
Yeah, right here. We have a duck. Good morning. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. We have a duck.
A duck.
I think there just seems to be too much empty space since my computer's dead. That we
You
need
feel like
this.
the duck will offer you comfort?
Yeah. Look outside though. Look out. Let's
Okay.
go to the cam.
I think that's probably for a good thing. Right now, it is, of course, the Black Diamond Electric Service Experts Mountain Cam.
All right.
Weather today, I think, is going to be somewhere. It's like hundreds, sort of like for the next 5 days. Relentlessly sunny.
Right.
Extremely hot.
Right. It's called summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when our children just sort of lay like little sweat-soaked rags on the couch, and they don't want to go back outside.
Coming up this morning, we have people taking selfies with moose. That does not go well.
That's awesome. I'm really. And then this is funny. We have the cemetery fox. It's a mystery. It's been going on for a while.
I found it.
The Ark. Remember that guy in Kentucky who was building the Ark?
It's the atheist problem. His park isn't going well.
Surprise!
Tell you more there.
There's lots of fun and free stuff going on. This is kind of cool. I just realized this. Do you know what today is?
Today is Monday.
It is also the 20th anniversary of the release of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Get out.
I remember putting our kids out on a blanket. Our twins, they were born
20 years?
They were born 17 years ago, and I would put them out on a blanket in the backyard, and I read the entire book to them over the summer.
Right.
And it was just, and they were always wildly in love with Harry Potter.
This is the movie, not the books, right?
No, this is the books.
Oh,
The important part, the part that matters,
Oh.
the books.
Do they have pictures?
You have to read them.
Did they have pictures?
No, had little illustrations at the front of every chapter. That's all it needed. Because she was so vivid. J.K. Rowling was amazing. And now she's one of the richest women in the entire United Kingdom.
And guess what she's doing now? Anything she friggin' wants.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a given. You know, it's funny. They actually did. You know, they always have those endless personality tests of, what house you would be in. Would you be a Slytherin? Would you be a Ravenclaw?
Right,
Would you be? They went through the test, and based on all the characteristics, they said the vast majority of England are Hufflepuffs. And if you remember, Hufflepuff was sort of like the we study plants group. They never really
Daisy's
won
in
a
there.
lot of
Daisy's. Hang on.
Oh, please. I think we all know Daisy is a Gryffindor, okay?
Which house, Daisy?
You pick one for me.
You're totally a Gryffindor.
I
Are you
haven't
kidding
read
me?
Harry Potter.
She was talking about cutting that hornet in half. I think
I'm
maybe
telling you, she's
Slytherin.
she
I
could
might
be a Slytherin.
Slytherin?
Who's Draco Malfoy and...
Slither.
Yeah,
Slither,
he's
whatever.
my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
She goes for Draco
She's
Malfoy.
She's going dark.
Girl,
she's
you and the
going
bad
dark.
boys. I don't know. Alrighty, I want to tell you about Tell Me Something Good because I needed this morning to start immediately.
the bat.
I need it really badly.
Okay,
So
here we
you're gonna
go.
love this one. Once again, it starts really brutal. Grenfell Tower. Do you remember we talked to Daisy about this a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago? It's one of the biggest apartment.
It's one of them.
Complex disasters in
Right.
English history where
Right.
hundreds of people were injured. People still missing. They still don't know where some of them are. But this is one of the good stories. There's a kid, Shakib Nida. He graduated from medical school at 24, so he's smart. And he was one of those kids who was an immigrant. He came here with his mother and father from Afghanistan. And he started with a degree in mechanical engineering and then decided, okay, I'm going to go on for medical school. Did that. As you can see, he's standing there with his mom and dad smiling. His mom is beautiful.
They look happy.
Well, a couple of years ago, his mom started developing a muscular disease, which is one of the reasons he wanted to go back to med school. And she's basically incapacitated. She's wheelchair bound.
Okay.
So when the fire started, and there's no sprinkling systems, there's
Right.
one stairway,
Right.
he threw her on his back. And he ran her down 24 flights
Oh my gosh.
of stairs,
Oh my gosh.
dodging debris, dodging the fire, falling through, all of these things.
With all the people
Exactly.
running with him.
And they didn't know where his father was. They were hoping he was in the building, but they were hoping he was out of the building. They haven't found him. But he literally saved his mother. And when they got to the ground floor, he was on his knees, and he actually crawled on his knees to get outside because he had been overcome by smoke inhalation. But he actually dragged his mother on his knees to make sure he got out of the building and his mom was safe.
Say 100 pounds, 24 stories.
24 stories
Oh.
on his back in smoke inhalation and fire.
So he saved her. Mm-hmm. That's very good.
That is a Tell Me Something Good.
It is really it is good. We've done stories over the years We've done stories over the years about people faking their deaths.
That's something that's always sort of intrigued you, though. Not faking your deaths as much as just sort of disappearing, which is almost the same thing.
Well, this is different. This is
Okay.
different. And remember some of them. One guy didn't want to get married, faked his death.
Dude, really?
Another
There's
guy,
easier ways, I promise it.
So some people do it for insurance money or something like that. This guy is interesting. The couple had this contractor, and things went bad. He found out that he wasn't licensed. He didn't know what code was. He really screwed up their house. They cannot live in it because it's so unsafe, and they don't have any more money to do that.
Oh, that's so brutal.
So for a couple months, this is in Florida, Glenn Holland, 67, crawls out of bed in the middle of the night, gets in his car, and goes to where the contractor lives. Or does he? See, so he stakes him out. And for a month, the pickup truck and his Corvette never moved. And he was just about to give up. It's like his last day. And he went there, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, here he comes. The dead guy.
You
Out,
stink.
gets into his pickup truck. Now, this guy is 67, the guy staking out the bad guy. So he goes, it's not like I'm going to get out and rough him up.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead he followed him, and then he did charges, and then there was court and all that stuff, and he got his money back, and then the guy went to jail.
I don't want to be mean, but traditionally isn't part of faking your own death like actually disappearing from your home and like leaving the state?
Well, evidently,
and
maybe just stayed in the guest room, in his house.
that just seems like sort of a lackadaisical effort for a death.
Here's the sad thing. He had his daughter send this.
Wow. That is so sleazy. Why is there a happy face there?
Well, because he's
Wow.
not really dead.
Wow, that is so sleazy.
So he brought his daughter into the thing, too.
That's almost a people who are going to hell story.
It really is.
I'm amazed.
But it's hilarious because the guy just staked them out and said, no, I'm taking you down.
I think you've got to put more effort into it if you're actually going to fake your own death.
Like, leave the state. Right?
You got to, a little bit more than, I'm going to live in my same house.
I have something that will give a great satisfaction. You had a great story about saving someone in the fire, and I have one that everyone is going to love. Have you noticed that you're getting spam calls, robocalls on your cell phones?
Which just, because then you're getting charged for it, which is even more enraging. It's like, I'm actually losing money because you're robocalling me. That just seems so wrong.
So there is FCC has fines.
Really?
Yes, and the fine actually goes per call. If you can arrange it,
prove it.
and you can, and there's been people who have done this. One guy got $30,000 because there is a penalty for each phone call, and he kept track and he recorded each one.
Wow,
It's the
smart.
same company, and he said, "Don't call me anymore. Don't call me anymore." And they kept calling. So he eventually took him to court, and they gave him this huge settlement.
Good for him.
You know what he did? He didn't change his number because
No
he was so good at
way.
it. He was waiting. All right, so here's the deal. So this man, he is accused of making millions of robocalls.
For what? What business?
It was a really vague business, and it was like lenders, market strategy lenders. And so he would make all these calls.
Thousands of dollars waiting for you.
Right. The fine will make you very happy. So anyway, they finally caught this guy, and it's a one-man operation, and he had the machinery to do it, the electronics to do it. The fine he has is $120 million.
Wow.
Bravo.
I'm hoping that will act as a deterrent. I'm not sure it will, but I really hope it does.
It won't. They're jerks, no
But
matter
it's-
what you do.
Wow.
Right?
That takes a lot of patience to build up to something where you're going to get 120 million, though. Good for him.
Well, does it mean that he has it?
No.
He's made that money.
He owes it to him now. I'm sure the guy's never going to see it, but it's the principle.
The FCC has it. That's federal, so tax-wise, he's done.
Yeah, he's finished no matter what.
All right. Good. All right,
I know
coming
that's
up.
wrong to be happy, but I am. Okay, well, let's go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. All kinds of weirdness over the weekend. It's brought to you by Robert J. DeBry offices in St. George, Sandy, and Salt Lake City. Go to robertdebry.com. Also by Executive Transportation. You can reach March for a ride to the airport or a lovely night out at executiveutah.com. And all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 24-hour service, because if there's an emergency, we'd really rather you would call them and just get it taken care of. Good morning, Daisy. What's going on?
Hello everyone, here's what's making news on GephartDaily.com. For the second time in as many weeks, a large public celebration in the Salt Lake Valley has been marred by violence. The latest incident took place Saturday night when a dozen people were overcome by bear spray at the Taylorsville Days gathering in Valley Regional Park. Eyewitnesses told Gephardt Daily a group of teens were squaring off for a fight when one of them, possibly a teenage girl, unleashed the canister of mace. At least 12 people were left gasping for air and required medical treatment. Dozens more scattered as the spray made its way through the crowd. In the end, 6 of the victims were taken to the hospital while others were treated at the park. Firefighters in southern Utah are battling a monster. The Brinehead Fire, which started June 17th, has grown to more than 42,000 acres and is now the largest wildfire burning in the United States. 13 residences and 8 outbuildings have been destroyed so far. It's now estimated the fire won't be fully contained until July 5th. A 13-year-old boy from White Rocks, Utah, rolled a pickup truck on State Route 40 Sunday morning after his aunt asked him to drive it from Vernal to Fort Duchesne. According to UHP, the teen's aunt, 35-year-old Sweets Mayor, asked the boy to follow her to her house 24 miles away as she led the way in a second vehicle. While en route, the boy rolled the F-150 pickup he was driving, causing it to flip twice before it landed on its wheels. Amazingly, the teen escaped serious injury. Charges against the aunt and the teen are being screened by the Uinta District Attorney's Office. And now a look at your Wasatch Front weather, where temps are expected to hit the century mark again today. I know Mother Nature was a little tardy with the heat in May, but the tramp is sure making up for lost time. We'll cool down a little bit Tuesday with highs in the low 90s, and then we'll have highs in the upper 80s on Wednesday. That's it for now. Stick around with news from Tinseltown overnight. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy.
Bear spray?
I know.
Bear spray.
I'm feeling really bad right now because remember last week they had the West Valley City celebration, the festival, and then they had all this gang violence there. And then this weekend it's bear spray attack. Because, you know, as a teenager, as a youth, my first thought was after I've done my hair and my makeup and decided which top I could wear that
Find
would
your keys.
match with my friends.
Find your phone.
Find my keys and my phone.
And?
Be ready to drive out to a delightful festival.
Right.
The first thing I think is now, first a dab of bear spray behind each ear. And I think I'm going to take the whole gigantic economy-sized can with me because you never know.
Right?
When you might need to refresh your bear spray.
Have you seen the cans?
Why would you have that?
The cans are this big and they spray like 30 feet. 30 feet in a stream.
Now, is this like a bear repellent or a bear attractant?
Well, it's
is it
funny,
like bear
'cause
hormones or bear?
We had a friend who was working up in Yellowstone, and they all carried like harnessed. They have them on
Oh,
the
so
side.
it's a repellent, okay.
And when they're talking about black bears, and it was pretty effective, and on grizzly bears, it's more of a seasoning because they like spicy humans. And so that's because it's made out of chilies, and so yeah, he said no. Well, you know, actually, more information you don't need to know. Basically, what bear spray does is when the animal gets into the kill attack mode, it kind of slaps him on the side of the head and go, oh wait, I don't need to do this, and he changes his mind and goes away.
Go do something else.
Then he gets hungry, he comes back, and then he eats.
Then he eats you. Why? And then he took out like how many people was that? Like 80? I mean, it was.
I don't know. They too many bear spray.
That it's the sheer random nature of it that I
Why
guess
not
it's
silly string?
I guess it's better than a gun, but it's still just like why would you? Okay, never mind. If I
All
try
right.
to assign intelligence to it, I'm going to be disappointed.
We should talk about the big thank you.
I think that would probably be a very good idea. Basically, we're really appreciative of you. I mean, the fact that you came over and you came with us to the new digital platform and you stayed with us on the morning stream. As a matter of fact, more of you came, which really stuns us, but we really appreciate it. We wanted to give you something. So we have Christopher's Prime Steakhouse, who has glorious, glorious summer menu, by the way. And it's dinner for 4. You get to laugh and talk and hang out with your friends
Their
again.
side dishes alone are
See,
killer.
look at them. Some of our favorite listeners in the world, and they look very happy. I noticed they didn't invite us, but thank you.
Oh, this is the worst shot.
Oh, the filet.
I want it.
I know, right?
All right,
All right. So, and then also March picks you up in one of his sweet Escalades, and then you have limo service to and from dinner, and it's perfect. So, if you would like to win, all you have to do is go to one of our 3 Facebook pages: Get Part Daily, Get Part Approved, or Todd and Erin. Just make a comment under the show today, like and share. Boom, you're done.
Oh yeah, so it got to be something nice. Don't do what you've been doing.
Oh no,
It's
I don't
horrible.
care.
Why would we pick you,
What do you mean?
Mom? So Bountiful,
Oh,
tell me
so
about
mean.
this. Tell me about the concert.
This is hard. I mean, Melissa Cochran gets angry sometimes when she starts thinking about the terrorist attack. If you remember this, Melissa Cochran and her husband were over in England. They were celebrating, I believe it was their 35th
It was something
wedding
like that,
anniversary.
yeah.
And look at them; they're just adorable and dorky and happy. And Kurt's a musician. He was one of the people killed during the terrorism act of terrorism when the truck barreled through Westminster. It was really tough, and of
he's
course,
a local. He's a local guy.
yeah, they're both here from Utah, from Bountiful, and Melissa has a ton of injuries that she's going to be working with the rest of her life. So, they did a huge concert over the weekend at the Bountiful City Park, and tons of friends, family. It was pretty amazing. They had members of the family band, Sarah McFarlane, Eric Murphy, all these guys, performed. They had a great time. But here's the thing that I loved the most: there was a surprise for Melissa, which just killed me. The first responders that came to save her was London Metropolitan Police Officer Keith Malata. He worked to keep her alive for about an hour before the Westminster Bridge was cleared because they couldn't even get to her to take her to the hospital.
But he did.
Because all the traffic was snarled and the ambulances couldn't get in, the paramedics.
Right.
So he kept her alive for an hour and kept talking to her. They flew him out
Oh no.
on Saturday.
Oh man.
And he came over, and she has having a lot of trouble standing, and she rose from her chair and she took 3 running steps and jumped him. I mean, just
Oh, that's so sweet.
so.
Wow. How would you thank someone enough?
There's no way.
There's no way.
Wow.
And now that
But
you're
in any
crying,
case, I know.
it shows pretty much hit the peak.
But I'm really glad, Melissa. You deserved that. You deserved a really happy surprise.
Is this ride a bicycle ride in San Francisco? Where
No,
is it?
Portland.
In Portland.
All right, let's go back to thinking about this. What is Portland's main motto? Keep Portland weird.
Keep it weird.
Yeah.
Right.
If you ever seen Portlandia on I think it's the Sundance Channel. It's like as weird and quirky as you could possibly imagine.
It's on
So
Netflix if you want to see it.
they decided to have the world's largest bike ride.
Cool. You
For
know what?
naked
And that's
people.
it. What?
For naked people, because they were trying to promote the use of non-fossil fuel transportation. So as you can imagine, there were many delightful arrays of nakedness in the parade, and there was over 5,700 people.
Put towels on the seats.
Right.
You'd have to.
Here is the best thing. I tried to get a picture and I couldn't. They had little bike seat covers that said Portland Naked Bike Ride on them so that you could remove the cover afterwards. And in any case, the funniest part for me, though, is they showed all these home movies of all the naked bike riders going down the street. There's people applauding, going, yay, because we're from Portland and none of us like fossil fuels. And there's this whole passel of kids who are like 8, like waving along, and I'm like, I don't think I would take my children to the naked bike ride. Perhaps I am overly strict and repressive as a parent, but to me it would seem to engage a lot of questioning that I'm not sure they would be ready for.
Well, you got a bunch of kids now are really motivated about using green power and solar.
guess.
And every time they see a solar panel, they get excited. So I think that's a good. It's a good thing.
Okay.
I'm still back with the bicycle seats. And like, if it's a hot day and you're sweaty.
The worst part is if you you lent it to someone for the ride to be like, you can keep it.
Oh.
You can just keep it.
No.
Like, just keep
Where did you take my bike that you borrowed? The what?
Don't bring it back.
Then you see this
all
bike
yours.
burning in the backyard. The big can of gasoline. Ew. It's bad
Okay.
enough when you have to clean off the gym equipment when you go to the gym. But this is like totally different.
All right, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we've got more news about the Arts Festival. It was such a cool weekend. The Ark in Kentucky.
Oh, it's my favorite story of the day.
It's an epic story. Stay with us.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at gephardtdaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right, so the Arts Festival. I think we had a good time.
We had a wonderful time.
We
I
had a
loved
wonderful
it.
time.
The art yard was especially good this year. Zoe made like one of those glow-in-the-dark jellyfish and all kinds of really charming,
We'll
creative
show you.
stuff.
We got some pictures here.
And they had flags.
You know,
It was busy.
The food trucks are really cool. Oh, one of the cool things they did in the main entrance, you had to go through the library, which is so smart because I don't remember them doing that before.
I don't either, but I think it's a good idea because you're right. You're kind of reminding people we have one of the most beautiful libraries
Right.
in the country here.
And plus the
there's so
fact
much
that
to do.
kids are going, what are those? And I go, oh, honey, they're books.
This is a strange thing that you open and use paper. There were so many different and creative ones. There was this one guy we went to, and he had all these wood-carved altars. They were really unusual. I'd never seen anything like
If
that.
you want to worship Satan, yeah, get one of those.
Or maybe
And
Buddha. Or
it's so funny because it's funny. People come from all around the country. This is like, regular, pottery and from Nebraska and other paintings, other artists that spend the summer just traveling around. But I thought it was really fun. And the band setup was great.
The whole thing was amazing.
Put that on your list for next year.
If you missed it, it does actually get a lot better. The Leonardo had a cool idea since they're right there, and they were like, we've got the family lounge. It gets hot enough outside. Come in here. They had a chef who was doing like wine pairings for the wine lounge at night.
It was great.
I mean, seriously, for the price, you cannot beat this. It's
All right.
definitely worth doing next year. You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
My favorite story could be because I had my favorite of the month yesterday on Friday. This could be, let's just say it's going to be my favorite of the week.
Okay.
Okay. There's a guy, and his name is Ken Ham. Now, Ken Ham is an interesting creature.
Okay.
A lot of people whittle. Not many people whittle. Some people build furniture in their garages. Some people have hobbies like that. This is, show them the picture. This is what Ken does.
Oh, the Ark. I remember this. He did an Ark.
That is actual size.
That's an Ark in Kentucky.
According to the Bible.
So he did all the actual measurements according to the
Cubits.
King James Version.
Build it by what's a cubit? Evidently, it's like this.
Okay.
So basically, he built that, and he built a theme park. $92 million
Okay.
and he's blaming it's not going so well,
Oh, no.
and he's blaming the atheists, like we're organized or they're organized or who's organized.
The atheists, this
The
is their
atheists,
fault?
yes, for undermining this adventure. I would like to know what
I would totally go to the Ark on principle just because
Just to see
it would
it.
be epic, but it's not my concept of a theme park. But somehow the atheists have banded against him, and that is what is making this a non-starter.
I don't think they're that well organized. Now, I'm trying to think what the other an amusement park. It's not an amusement park, but it's it's something. What other things would they have?
Maybe you could do like a little zoo, like a menagerie or something. I
maybe they
guess.
have like a reflecting pool, and you walk across the water. It's a whole Bible thing. You could do that. Parting the Red Sea, they could come up with something and you ride through.
You know, I actually, come to think of it, I am shocked there isn't like a biblical theme park. Because you're right, that was the first action adventure movie. I mean, if you haven't read the Bible, you really should. Even not for religious reasons, because it's really a fascinating read. There's wars and fights and craziness and love and I mean, all kinds of things happen.
Talking bushes.
You could totally
could.
make that into an epic theme park.
So
but
this-
just having the Ark sitting there going, it's an
Yeah,
Ark.
yeah.
It's like going to the biggest ball of string in Kansas. It's like,
No, that's awesome.
there it is, and you leave.
No, that's awesome.
Or the world's largest frying pan in Minnesota. It's like, okay, there's
Right?
the frying pan, but it's still one of those things that you go, well, there it is, and you leave. It's not
Well-
like you're going to pack a lunch and stay for the day.
Kentucky Tourist Development Finance Authority. They gave them some money to do this program. You want to know what kind of money it is?
He was subsidized?
A tad. All right, show the ark again, because that thing is just stinking huge. He built a $92 million encounter project in Kentucky. It was subsidized, and here's what he got.
I'm dying to hear this.
$18 million of state tax incentives to set off the cost of the construction. 75% property tax break over 30 years.
Wow.
An $11 million road upgrade, which is basically just for this facility and not regular use. $200,000 gift from the county. 100 acres at reduced price for the land. And 62 million municipal bonds issued.
62 million. How many kids could you put into college for that?
I don't know, or just carpenters.
This is actually his explanation, which is one of my happiest things ever. He says, these kinds of reporters generally do very poor or lazy research, so they'll actually just make things up about the Ark for their agenda purposes.
We're not smart enough to have an agenda. I don't know if you knew that.
It's really more like, well, there you go.
But he bit
$62 million. Think
Yeah.
what you could have done for that for the schools in the county.
Well, they said build it and they will come. Well, they were stinking wrong.
$62 million. If you took that out of my kids' school fund, I can't tell you what I would do to you.
I like the new road they put in for them.
I liked back when it was just one crazy guy with like a handsaw who was making an ark. Now that I know it was this insidious, it's like, well, that takes all the fun out of it. Before he was like a swashbuckler, and now he's just sort of like a creepy corporate guy
That's it.
with an ark.
Now I want to go see it. Matter of fact, if it starts raining hard, guess where I'm going? Well, this is like what's his name's movie.
Evan Almighty?
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not even as good
No,
as
it's
that.
the other one where he, not Colbert, where he built the ark.
Steve Carell, and that was
Steve
Evan
Carell.
Almighty.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Moose, Calvary, Canada.
Okay.
There's a lot of things people should know about mooses. Mooses.
Mooses.
They kill more humans than bears do. Did you know that? They kill.
Yeah, because people think they're so gentle and so sweet.
Right, and they're really protective. And if they have little ones, we almost
Oh, remember?
Ran-
Yeah, that was not a good one.
ran in. I saw a moose when we were up in the Uintas, and I said, oh, because wildlife management, forestry, studying and all that stuff. And so it was really fun to show off animals to Erin, because we would see so many. And at the end of the show, you'll see what I mean. And so I said, come here. And the bushes were kind of moving, and because I knew there was a moose there. It was a female because it didn't have horns. And I said, come on over.
See, the beauty of they look like big, ugly horses, and they're so endearing, and they're awkward, and they're lumpy.
And so
I love them.
We're behind this group of bushes, and I said, this is going to be great. And I peer up over it, and I go, oh, there she is. And Erin goes, oh, my gosh, it's a moose. I've never been this close, Todd. I love you so much. And then all of a sudden we saw the baby.
Oh, we're going to die now.
And then we did the move back very slowly. Don't run. Don't let it sense your fear. And then I tripped her and ran. So, seriously, we backed out behind trees and like this. And I told her, if it comes out, just stay on the other side of the tree. But anyway.
Nothing like getting curb stomped
So-
by a moose on your weekend vacation. That's the best part ever.
Evidently, Calvary in that area, they actually had to put out some posters warning and a TV campaign telling people, here, go ahead and read that.
Moose in Northwest Calgary. We're aware of a moose in the area of Bennington, Tiara, and Harvest Hills. Please don't approach it, especially to try and take a selfie with it. Just the fact that Calgary police actually have to explain to the public, please don't approach the moose to take a selfie with it, seems to me to be sort of a scathing indictment on our general concept of intelligence as a whole.
This is true, but you have an international crowd going to Yellowstone where, I don't know if you know this, but if you tick off a bison, they like to do a headstand on you.
Yeah.
Then
Also,
they
that
throw
thing-
you in the air and they do it again.
Also, that thing where you want to go over the safety rope so you can get closer to the geyser for a better selfie.
Oh.
Especially in Yellowstone Park, the safety ropes are there for a reason. This isn't like the velvet ropes at the movie theater for crowd control. This is where they go, if you step over this, the chances of the skin being boiled off your body are higher, which to me seems like a deterrent.
When I went through, many years ago when I was a kid, the Rangers were, they're as
They were kind of cool.
politically correct. And so they gathered all the kids. Hey, kids, come on over here. We're going to go out. And you go on this walkway, wooden walkway, and you go by these boiling pots of this and this deep hot hole that's like 300 degrees or whatever. And he gathers all the kids. The parents are like, they don't care. The strange guy is gathering all the kids.
Forest Ranger, it'll be fine. Look at him. He's wearing a hat.
And he kneels down and he just goes like this. If you guys go off the path and you fall in, it will boil the meat off your bones. Have a good trip. Let's go. And then he walked you around. And you know what?
He really said that to you?
Evidently, they had a bunch of kids just deciding they were going to jump off and fall through the crust and die. And so they were all emotionally struck by this. So they really, when they meant it. And something about boiling the flesh off your bones.
See,
It really impacted kids.
The trouble is, I know what kind of kid you were. I know. And so for me, the only thing I can picture is my husband who had big eyes and this sweet little mouth and looked like an angel. The only thing I can picture is you going, I could try that.
How quickly?
I could totally pull that off.
How quickly? How
I
quick
could
would that
pull that off.
take? All right.
I could totally see you thinking
All
that.
right. Tell them about Black Diamond.
Okay, Black Diamond is interesting to me because these guys do such a wide variety of things. They're award-winning for electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. They have the 24-hour emergency service, but especially as a woman, sometimes I feel like I get taken advantage of by service providers. Like they think I'm an idiot because I don't know what's wrong with my air conditioner and stuff, and I'm always thinking, okay, maybe they're going to cheat me. What they do is they come up with an upfront pricing plan. They go, this is what we're seeing, this is what it's going to cost. And when you get the bill back at the end, it's not like, oh, we had to add this fee and this fee, and there was this fee too that we forgot to tell you about. No, the price they give you is the price you pay, and that's it. They're licensed, bonded, and assured, and they have the fantastic customer reviews. Now, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com. That's blackdiamondexpert.com, and they'll give you all the information you need to make sure everything is taken care of, and you can feel good about the price you got because it was the honest one.
Entertainment news coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. And also by Columbus Travel. If you go to columbusvacations.com, you can sign up for a weekly newsletter that always has great last-minute deals on hotels, airfare, cruises, and more. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
I cannot believe we are being barraged by festivals.
Oh, no. It's the fun and free.
Oh,
Fun
no,
and free.
not complaining, but
Oh, good. Because this is the nice thing I love about summer. There is always something fun and free, and it's always within a short drive from your house. So the kids, I'm not talking to you, Zoe. Yeah, actually, I'm looking right at Zoe right now. Always whining about they're bored and there's nothing to do. No, there's so much to do. Number one, summer concert series. This is down at the Orem City Library. And all the concerts are free. They begin at 7 p.m. on the stage at the City Center Park. And, I mean, every one of them are fantastic. Now, this one tonight is really cool. I'd actually kind of really like to take the kids if you think about this. They're doing, it's the Grassroots Shakespeare Company. They're a touring ensemble. And they're doing a chunk of The Tempest, of Shakespeare's
Right,
The Tempest.
right.
And they're doing it on stage, original staging techniques from Shakespeare. And that's such a cool way to introduce your kids to the Bard. I mean, it
plus
really
if they
is.
get bored, they can run around to the swing sets and stuff.
Precisely. Up at Snow Basin Ski Resort, they've got their free movie, Twilight movie series going, and they are playing Finding Dory tonight. They also have snacks and treats available if you want it. You just lay out a blanket under the stars. You get to watch the movie, and when you're that high up, there's no mosquitoes.
That's true, it's cooler.
Fun and free.
Matter of fact, in Salt Lake, I saw a movie screen set up in another park, too.
Yeah, the Reservoir Park, just down from us. Almost every city has these, and if you're interested, you can go to GephardtDaily.com, go to the Todd and Erin page. We have a whole listing of all of the free movies and like by city and by date, and so that way you can kind of keep an eye. A lot of them are on Mondays and Fridays, it seems. So it's a good thing to check out for tonight. Okay, Daisy has got entertainment news that's brought to you by Robert J. DeBry. Robert J. DeBry has offices in St. George, Sandy, and Salt Lake. Just go to robertdebry.com. Executive Transportation, just check out our friend March if you need a ride to the airport, or he's really good at fancy nights out. Go to executiveutah.com in order to schedule that. And Black Diamond Electric, heating, plumbing, and air, 24-hour service at blackdiamondexpert.com. Good morning, Daisy. What's going on?
Hello again, Todd and Erin. Here's a look at headlines from Tinseltown overnight. Kendrick Lamar was named Best Male Hip Hop Artist. Chance the Rapper took home Best New Artist, and Remy Ma nabbed Best Female Hip Hop Artist from nominees such as Nicki Minaj and Missy Elliott at the BET Awards in Los Angeles Sunday. Other winners included Beyonce for the Coca-Cola Viewers' Choice Award. Bruno Mars won for Best Male R&B Pop Artist, and Migos took top spot for Best Group. Transformers: The Last Night was the #1 movie in North America this weekend, earning a tidy $45.3 million. Tied at #2 were Cars 3 and Wonder Woman with $25.175 million each, followed by 47 Meters Down at #3 with $7.4 million, and All Eyes on Me, which I saw, at #4 with $5.9 million. And finally, family and friends gathered in New York City Friday to see the unveiling of Selena's wax figure at Madame Tussauds. The honor for the late Tejano singer comes 22 years after Selena was shot and killed by a former fan club president in 1995. Selena will be honored next year with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's it for Tinseltown headlines. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you so much. It was really interesting to me that Bruno Mars was so cute. He did really well at the BET Awards, but he was asleep the entire night. I don't know if you ever saw it, but they keep going to him for close-ups in the audience, and he'd be like,
Is he just tired?
it was
or-
adorable. I don't know, but the poor kid could barely keep his eyes open. And he was just sleeping like a baby, so I think spitefully they kept doing close-ups just to go, look, Bruno's still asleep.
Our friends took their kids to Transformers. It's 2.5 hours long.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Michael
So,
Bay, you got to pick one ending and go with it.
you gotta edit.
One ending.
And if you're doing this just for your kid and you're not into it, it's 2.5 hours. 90 minutes is long sometimes.
But when it's 2.5 hours, you got to wonder how much you love your kid.
Unless it's the movie Trolls, which I thought was great.
I actually cried when they sang True Colors. That's
Of
how
course you
sad
did.
I am.
And you know, if
I
you've
cried
seen
at
the
the Trolls movie.
you see the producers and directors must have been going crazy because one of their stars is Justin Timberlake. And if you notice when you watch it, he didn't sing or perform for 90% of the movie. So you pay all this money for a guy who's supposed to, singing, incredible singer, and he doesn't sing until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then he turns all the colors and everybody's happy.
That was a pivotal part of the movie.
It was.
That was like, that goes to like a microcosm of a larger issue of like the entire global expanse of us would be happier if we could all just recognize each other's true colors. This was a global statement.
And it's only 90 minutes. So
Well, that's good,
great.
too.
Hey,
Okay.
coming up, how much do you like Disneyland? This guy really likes Disneyland. It's coming up next.
Merit Medical. Why work for fast food wages when you can start at Merit for a whole lot more? Merit Medical. Great products, great people, a great company. Learn more at merit.com/careers. The law offices of Robert J. DeBry and Associates, with offices in Salt Lake City, Sandy City, and St. George. Check them out at robertdebry.com. The Todd and Erin morning stream is actually available anytime at gephardtdaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
All right.
Oh, on Facebook Live this morning. Good morning, MJ. How are you? I know I love the movies too. Good morning, Kim. You're back from Reno.
Hi,
Finally.
Kim.
That's nice. Terry, hi. Good morning, sweetie.
Oh, and Jim just got back from Vegas. Sorry about the money losing thing.
But
All
you
right.
had a buffet. Yeah.
Who likes Disneyland? Raise your hand.
You know what's interesting though is I think every kid obviously loves Disneyland. I mean, they lose it, but they're adults. I had no idea how invested
Well,
so many
before
were
we
adults
go-
and how intense it was.
Before we go there, I just got to say that as a kid, my dad was a teacher, and so he didn't make a lot of money, and so we ate hamburger a lot, and so we planned this trip. And we all saved money. Everybody got quarters. Whenever you got a quarter, you put it in the bucket and all that stuff. And we went across country and we stayed at all the national parks, all the way to San Francisco and back. We stayed in a hotel once. And my mom was very proud of that. We were all very proud of that. Our Coleman cooler,
You were Yankees, man.
our Coleman cooler had bear claws marks in it, which is awesome. And anyway, so my parents, here we are. We're going to travel, what is it, 3,000 miles from Boston there, whatever. And they told us where we were going, and that we were going to Disneyland.
Oh, that was a mistake.
For 3,000 miles, it was, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And that's 3 kids doing that.
This is why Todd will never let me discuss anything with the kids in advance, not for like 10 minutes before we leave for the airport.
Or going to the park. Hey, we should go to the park. When are we going to the park? When are we going to the park? Are we there yet? When are we going? Are we leaving now? Should I get my shoes? Don't do that.
Sorry.
So, Disneyland.
Let's go back to Disneyland, yes.
A lot of people go annually. A lot of families
Sure.
do. They go every single year. We know people who go 4 times a year.
I think we have the Disneyland, at least Disneyland West. We have we're the biggest state for drive-ins.
And they couldn't figure out once when what do they call it when the teachers get off to
UEA? Or?
UEA weekend. They couldn't figure it out why all of a sudden these huge crowds were
Big
coming.
flood, yeah.
It was us, Utah. So this gentleman really likes it. He has been to Disneyland 2,000 days in a row.
Doesn't he have to work? Doesn't he have like a job?
He does. He works for the Air Force. But he makes time to go.
Every
After
day.
2,000, you probably know all the characters. Hey, Bill, how's it going? How's the kids? Oh, I'm sorry, Mickey, how are you? Because the kids were watching. You must know everyone by name. 2,000 days in a row. His favorite ride is the Matterhorn, the old school.
Well, we all like that.
We all do.
Yeah.
So.
And the snow monster goes halfway through. I
Right,
mean,
right.
That's the payoff.
He says, I love taking pictures and walking around and talking to the cast members and guests. His favorite place to eat is the Pizza Port in Tomorrowland.
Okay.
He's 44 years old.
I'm guessing he's not married.
Well, it's funny. He started to... Here's the thing. Ritz 44, Huntington Beach, began visiting the park New Year's Day in 2012 with his former girlfriend.
I think that clears everything up for us right there.
2,000 days.
He's not a quitter. That's for sure.
He's not. He must like churros.
A lot.
$8 churros. All right, so
lot.
another festival. Once again, another fine festival, and it's called Wee Beer because it's in Weber.
Oh, I get it. That's
Right.
so adorable.
And the annual Wee Beer Golden Spike is the 3rd annual. About 2,500 people attended. All the microbreweries around the state were there. 44 different kinds of beer. Guess what was the favorite kind?
I give up.
Okay, the favorite kind was jalapeno and mango.
Seriously?
That's just they're tasting, sipping, back and forth.
That
yeah.
seems like a lot more investment I'd be willing to make in flavors. Jalapeno and mango
Right.
together?
Well, it's different
And a
saying it
beer.
like this because when I went to the deal in Liberty Park and it was raising
Food
money.
truck face-off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was raising money for something. They had a big area fenced off because you have to do that in Utah, and it was the beer garden, right? And you think of and they had some chairs and everything. There were 2 people in it.
2 lonely people with their beers.
We called it beer jail. So anyway, there was the picture of a lady here coming up, and her reaction to one of our photographers was interesting. Here we go. Let's show her face. Look at
That face of, what's wrong with you?
No,
Why are you looking at me?
She's looking at the photographer.
Yeah.
And oh no.
What do you want from me?
Oh.
Look at those big blue eyes.
Okay. And finally,
You need to stop. You need to go away. Richard, I don't know if your self-preservation
we're not saying it's Richard.
well, whoever it was, I'm not saying
Nice
your
job.
self-preservation instincts aren't intact, but if you notice the guy standing right next to her with the big biker beard, it looks like you could snap you like a twig. Maybe that was the wrong girl to creep up on. I'm just thinking.
We can't say it, so we'll do that instead.
I don't think I've ever seen the curves of a mouth turned down
I know.
that well
so,
before. That was impressive.
Okay. So,
Pretty. Oh, don't do it. Don't
Oh.
do it. And
Oh.
look at that.
Look
Oh,
at,
wow.
oh.
I've never seen a mouth go down like that.
Yeah. Once
Nice
again,
work.
That was what's his face.
Nice work,
I don't know
pal.
who that was, but that's who we think it is. Okay.
Nice
so,
work.
Summer jobs, full-time jobs. Some jobs we've done that we didn't really like. I stripped furniture in a basement, unventilated, with industrial stripper in Boston, which explains a lot about what's going on up here. That was not a good job. For you had bad jobs.
I did a ton of them. The ice cream truck was not a good job, mainly because I gained 25 pounds that summer.
Oh, you didn't sell much.
Because when you're slow and you're driving around and you got that same music thing going in your head, it's like, yeah.
By the way, if you're a parent out there and you have small children, you need to tell them something when the ice cream truck comes down the street. If the music, you tell them, if the music is playing, it means they're out of ice cream. Yeah. Okay.
That's worked on Zoe for years.
Here's a job, I think is Phnom Penh, okay, Cambodia.
Okay.
This is these people. This is a couple. They're 22.
I've always wanted to go to Cambodia.
And it's one of
A
the
summer
poorest.
job, maybe?
It's one of the poorest countries in
Yeah.
the world. And so basically, they found different ways to make money. And well, this is somebody who goes into the jungle and finds tarantulas.
What are the?
Tarantulas.
Those are tarantulas?
Those are cooked tarantulas.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Why are they cooking tarantulas?
for food.
Oh,
They can make medicine out of them too. And you know what? There's more protein than there are on crickets
okay.
because they eat bugs.
This is good.
Everyone should, because the protein is huge and it doesn't take much to raise them. But these guys go in with a hoe or a stick, and they go into the jungle and they find a hole, and they actually take their hand and they go down the hole and they grab the tarantula and
They grab it with their hands.
out of there, and then they put it in a bag.
You know, a lot of tarantulas, I mean, even the venomous ones, I mean, it doesn't really do much. It might sting, but I'm assuming if you're doing that day in and day out, you're getting a lot of sting. You're getting a lot of bites.
Never been bit. Never been bit. They're the tarantula
Are they
whisperers.
tickling them or something?
I
What
don't
are they
know.
doing to...
I don't think you should do that move I'm talking about.
No, I was
It's
just
like
thinking if you're about
this.
to grab them, you're going to tickle their tummy.
I don't know.
So that their legs go or
But this
something.
is cool. The couple, they're 22 years old, and they basically go in and do this. It's the one of the poorest countries in the world, and they sell them for 12 cents. So on a good day, they make like $12.50, which is a lot of money to be creeped out all day. So,
And then they cook them.
so you're selling ice cream doesn't seem so bad.
No, not in the slightest.
All right.
And I like tarantulas. That's the sad part. I will happily hold a tarantula. I like them, but I just... Wow. Oh, Thursday, you're so sick. Thursday wants to know if they're crispy when they're cooked.
Yes, they are. And a lot of people think they taste like crab, except more buggy and tarantula-y.
Oh, like crab?
Yeah.
Really? Sure.
All right, so here's the deal.
All right.
For some reason, I believe, this is a fair statement, I believe that I am a magnet for wildlife.
This is true. You are.
And not nightclub wildlife. I mean wildlife. And so we tend to see stuff. I tend to stuff, and I see, and there's an eagle, and there's turkey vultures, and there's this. Well, I was driving, I took a shortcut through this old Salt Lake City cemetery. And I know these have been there. First of all, we found the deer. We discussed that. We found
The urban deer. You may remember his investigative series.
And the creatures I'm about to show you, I know they've been there at least for 20 years because I found them and I found their dens. And this is what I saw over the weekend.
Oh, look at him. Oh, and there's his den. It's so hard to believe that it's a red fox.
Uh-huh.
And they look so adorable, but they're super stinky, aren't they?
They're a little smelly because they
Wow.
sweat through their paws. But here's the deal. Years ago, do you remember when all these officials were horribly terrified that satanic worshipers were sacrificing cats?
Because they were finding mutilated cats, they said.
And
I
using
think.
strategic cutting edges, and must have known.
Yeah,
these-
meaningful things. Yeah,
Right.
they said it's so scary. They're found in this cemetery, so
these
he knows
devil
that it's gotta be-
worshippers. Then they finally figured out, and they learned it from Denver, is the fact that it was foxes, like that guy. So the cats who were running around loose at night,
They were
the
finding
fox,
scat, and they would have parts of cats in it, and they went, oh well, that's
parts of collars that said like lucky, little bells. So anyway, they live among us, and they are almost close to downtown Salt Lake City. Is that weird? I think that's so cool. I'm really happy to live in a city where deer poop in my front yard, and raccoons tip over my garbage cans, and now there's fox eating cats. It's the circle of life. It's like the Lion King. It ain't fair. Okay, I'm done. You guys have a good day. Thanks for joining us on this lovely Monday. And we will be back. Maybe. I don't know.
Don't forget to comment, like, and share the show today to enter to win for the dinner before at Christopher's in the limo ride from Executive Transportation. And we got a whole bunch of interesting goodies coming up this week. Tickets to different things that I think you're really going to like.
It's the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Why do you keep looking at me
Because you're
like
creepy.
that? I'm not creepy. Look at that.
No, he's adorable, but...